Your peak, you were saying you were making how much money per year at your
We
peak?
look, in the gas business, we were selling 500 million gallons of gas a month. We were taking down 20, 30, 40 cents a gallon, depending upon the deals we made. We were bringing in $5, $8 million a week. And I was paying up on that. But this was money that I earned. I know there's a lot of baloney around it. All of a sudden, gas pipe, I never even had to sit down with gas pipe in the end. Never. Everybody wants to claim credit for the gas. Let me tell you what happened with the gas. There were other guys doing it. Some of the Russians were involved in it. Some of the Russian Jews were involved in it. I happen to have a guy, Larry Irizzo, you know the story, we spoke about it, that came to me with a germ of an idea, and we knew how to grow it into what we grew it in. We did the most in that gas business. There's no doubt about it, because everybody came to us. John came to us through Vic Arena and tried to get a piece. Everybody was trying to get a piece of the action. But the bottom line is we created that.
We had a piece without Vic.
Yeah,
We
we
had-
created it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was other guys in it.
Tony Pep and other guys were doing the gas. Let me tell my side of the story.
There was guys
because
into it. No doubt about it. But in my family, it was
I know
us.
guys from the Russians started this.
They did not start it. That's not true.
Okay.
Sammy, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody's telling a story because they think they make it up. The Russians did not. I brought 3 Russians into the business with me. They couldn't get licensed. Gas stopped. This is all a matter of record. Everything I tell you is a matter of record. Mike Markowitz, Lev Persich, David Bokatin. They had a company called Gas Stop. The reason they came to me is because somebody beat them out of $7,000 they couldn't collect. And they came to me through somebody I knew. I brought them into the business because they couldn't get licensed. We expanded big time with them, no doubt about it. They were very
I can't
aggressive.
think of the captain who came to us, went to John. I'm trying to think his name. He was a guy in the Genovese family who had, and he asked John, are you in this gas business? He says that he was making so much money, he didn't even know where to hide it anymore.
Right.
And he said, I have a girlfriend that he wasn't even that crazy about. He said, I just bought her a brand new Mercedes. I was sitting there. John said, oh, you bought her a brand new Mercedes? He said, John, I don't even know where to put it anymore. So I just bought it, gave it to her. It's like giving her 3 cents to me. So there was a lot of guys in it. Tony Pep was in it, and I can't think of the other guys.
No doubt.
There was
no
a
doubt
ton
there
of
was
guys.
in it.
And that other guy, I think, I knew some of the Russians. This is the way I got it. From the Russians, from other guys who were in it.
Murat Balaguglu was another guy in it. There was other guys in it. There's no doubt.
Let's hear what they told me. Maybe you could tell me they were lying, but that's okay. Because I don't give a shit. I wasn't in the gas business. But they said that the Russians are the ones that invented it. What did they do? They came to the United States and they opened up these companies, gas companies. And they turned around and they went to the gas companies and bought the gas and paid for it. So the gas, I'm going to use a hypothetical number, 50 cents a gallon. It becomes $1 a gallon with the gas, with the tax. So they paid the 50 cents a gallon and they got it, the gas. It's paid for. So they got to go and get stations to pump it into the stations. Now the station, we make them save 10 cents, whatever it is, and they pay the gas and the tax to this company. The gas is already paid. They hold the taxes. When it comes time a year and change, the tax money is not being paid to the IRS, they start coming around. Where's the tax money? What'd you do with it? They close the company and they're gone. They're back in fucking Russia. Let me finish it and I give it to you. And that's the way it went. But here's their problem. Not that they needed your protection or mine or anybody else's. What their problem is that they were smart enough to look at the Italians and the Mafia and conclude with their connections, they have thousands of gas stations. So now we have it out. We only have 10 people we can convince, or I'm exaggerating, to do it. But now we can go to them, make believe we're scared, and look for their protection, and we're going to make them make money. But they got to give us stations as well. That's what I heard. So good. And
Totally. and I don't mean it total nonsense.
Okay,
First
like
of all,
I said, I wasn't in it,
yeah.
but God,
You told it incorrectly, but you told it in reverse. Russians weren't buying gas, none of that. What happened originally, and you can go back and see, the tax was being collected at the gas station level. You
Right.
could have been
Right.
anybody sitting in his room, owned a gas station, didn't pay the tax. 7, 8 months later, you close down. Somebody else takes over. Now they got to pay the tax. The government was very slow in collecting. They were antiquated. What happened, Rizzo had a small company called Vantage Petroleum. That's what he was doing. He had different people he installed in gas stations. And they'd run the gas station for a couple of months. When the government finally came down, they disappear. A month later, a new guy takes over. Now the government thinks they get smart. They say, oh, we're not going to collect at the gas station level anymore. We're going to require you to be a licensed wholesaler. You had to get licensed. Russians couldn't get licenses. We were able to get licenses because we had connection. But here's what happened. Then they started collecting at the wholesale level, where the wholesaler collected the tax, and we were responsible to pay the government. I had 18 different companies that were licensed to collect the tax. Nobody else had that, because we had a connection to get the license, and we had companies that were using out of Panama. And let me tell you, let me give Rizzo the credit. He was brilliant in how he figured out the scheme. I just helped him expand it and do what I had to do to protect
did you
it.
go away? Was John
I went
doing
away-
this?
I
When you
went away in
talking
85.
about John and you were talking about him doing the gas or whatever, was this before Castellano or after?
It was before.
That was before.
Yeah.
He was doing gas after Castellano, after, and you were gone.
Yes.
And so was this guy, I could get his name, but I can't think of it, in the Genovese family. And I know other people who were doing it. I was never in it. When I even thought about doing it, John said, we got Tony Pep, again, I can't think of the other guy's name, they're doing it for us. And everybody in this money is making money. There was even people in Providence who were doing it.
There's a problem with all of that, though. I went away because Rizzo, who created a big part of the scheme, became an informant. And he's the guy that told
I
on
know,
everybody.
I know.
He's the guy that told on everybody. But the bottom line, when I first got involved, and again, this comes to the money and power, I went to Junior. When I realized what I had, and I said, Junior, I'm going to show you more money than you ever saw before. He immediately said, no drugs. We don't deal in drugs. I said, Junior, I hate drugs. You know that. I don't want to get into that. We don't deal with drugs. I said, it's gas. I said, but here's what's going to happen. I said, I got a guy, he's pretty smart. I believe in what he's doing. I said, but everybody and their brother's going to want to get into this. I didn't have the Russians at that moment. I said, everybody and their brother's going to want to get into this. When that happens, we're going to get destroyed. I said, because everybody's going to mess it up. I said, you got to protect me. You got to make me win every argument. You can't let anybody get involved. If you do that, I'll show you more money than you ever saw before. He said, show me. You know, Junior, you don't talk, show me. I was bringing him $2 million a week, and that brought a lot of loyalty. And when John, and the reason I had a problem with Vic Arena, and I know we're going to talk about that, is because Vic teamed up with John to come against me to get a piece of the gas business. Both.
I don't know that.
Yeah, he did. This was in 81, 82, around there. And it didn't happen because they were trying to get me to service them. And I said, Junior, if you're going to give these guys credit, then you're responsible to collect. I said, because I'm not going to go through that, because gas in the ground is like money. You turn that the next day, you got cash. You got a couple of $1 million of gas in the ground, that's money. Same thing.
Absolutely.
So we kept them out. But it wasn't the Russians. We brought the Russians in. Some of them were doing it.
After
They were
Paul,
doing
it was
it.
the Russians.
Afterwards,
And
maybe.
I did time with one of the Russians.
Yeah,
I
I
was in
can't
jail.
speak for what happened afterwards. I know my 3 Russians were destroyed because Rizzo gave all 3 of them
Yeah,
up.
well, they weren't doing that, like you said, like you were doing with the gas, and I know you made a lot of money, but the Russians did it again on their own in a different way, and they were hooked all over the place. With
The
that.
FBI blamed me for teaching the government, teaching the Russians how to defraud the government.
The FBI blamed you.
Yeah, they blamed me. They said because now from the gas business they went into the health business, and they're taking money left and right in the healthcare scams, and it's all the Russians and Armenians, I believe.
These Armenians, seriously, it's just, you gotta.
No, that's what they told me. They took me out to California and said, see all the Armenians running, they're scamming like crazy. I said, and they said, you taught them how to do it. I
You gotta
said,
be careful with
don't
that.
blame me.
But the Armenians, you gotta be careful. Yeah.